Kraken. Here we're looking at the customs I made for Dark Knight's Metal and Lego DC Supervillains, and we're going to do this to look at all of them. We have a huge showcase here. There's like, I think there's like 6 characters, maybe 7 characters. I didn't count them, I'm not quite sure. But there are quite a few regardless. And starting off here, as you can see, we have the Batman who laughs. His design, I think, looks pretty nice. We gave him a nice, like a Joker face, like the monster animation. I think the overall suit looks very, very cool as well. And he might be one of my favorite looking characters out of this entire list, I think. And yeah, this is a little bit of a showcase of his abilities. As you can see, like a nice ground pound attack. He has the detective mode, we gave him that. Which was interesting, and there should be some more stuff too, since yeah, you have the Y attack, which absolutely destroys things. It's, purely made out of darkness and like the dark energy, you want to call it. Because all of these characters are from the Dark Multiverse, which is really cool. Now that we're actually close to some vehicles, I'm going to show you a proper showcase here. As you can see, he has a nice combo that I was trying to show. Let me show you his combos. If you saw, that was a very, very cool combo. He just basically kind of sliced it. I'm not really sure, but it looked really, really cool. You can see, it's very, very cool. Over here, the next character we have is none other than Batman the Devastator, who made our latest episode. Go ahead and check that out. Check the link is in the description. And the playlist will be linked in the card on how to make all of these characters. So as you can see, his character we made it a big 3, which is really, really cool. He's basically Batman when he gets affected with the Doomsday virus. He's a really cool character. I think it turned out pretty nice. Obviously there were some limitations, but I think the overall look was a lot better than what I would originally expect us to make, and doing stretches, because he's already so apparently. Alright, so yeah, he has like these very, very cool attacks. You can see the mid-air combo, like that explosion that he causes. He also has a ground pound. I'm just show you guys that. Remember, that's the same thing. I'm just trying to show the ground pound, please. No, come on. I did just show it, but I'm just trying to. You got the point, I guess. You can do that onto enemies, which is really cool. And we gave him a hyper jump ability, so you can just do this, jump insane distances. That was another demonstration. Like this, jump across the city. It's absolutely nothing. So yeah, he's one of the characters we made. If I can swoop. Okay, I was able to open up the roster, but we also have Batman the Dawnbreaker, who we also made. Please. Can have a few seconds. I think he turned out pretty nicely as well. He's a really cool character in my opinion. And it's Batman and Green Lantern, so it's already a very, very cool idea for a character. Just got him into some light here, so I'll show you the design. So we gave him like the standard Green Lantern outfit, the ring and everything, and he has a very cool combo. He also made air and pushes the enemy to the ground and stuff, as you saw. And yeah, I think this costume turned out really, really cool as well. Even the green mask, which I think looks really, really nice. And let me show you guys some of his combos. Alright, so you can fly obviously, I just showed you earlier. Because I was like flying around. Also for, yeah, here we go. That's his combo that I showed. And then we need to try his. He has detective mode, and with Y, if you hold it, we gave him this beam. This green beam. Which I remember basically disintegrates his opponents, which is basically like a hate beam. Come on, I'm trying to. Please, I'm just trying to use the beam because it bullets read any attack. So, okay, so I think he also has a, his Y is just a basic attack. So like this, and a basic attack like that. And he has a ground pound. Pretty nice. Yeah, we're gonna see here. Let's try it. I'm gonna post it. Let's post it. Alright, so yeah, that looks pretty good. But for some reason it's not fully defeating the character, which is kind of odd, but yeah. So this character is not this character not really cool as well. This might be one of my top 3, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. I'll do an official ranking at the end of this video, but yeah, we also have. This is the end of the DLC. We also made. Let's look at Batwoman the Drowned. or just the drown, I want to call it. This custom turned out pretty nicely. It's pretty decent. I wish I would just make the torso piece a little bit better. It was really a challenging custom to make. So, I mean, it did take me a while to do because I was just really confused. I literally had like a very hard time with this, but I think in the end it turned out pretty nicely. I mean, obviously it's not one of the best customs, but it's still decent. It's not that bad. And I think we did a pretty good job. As you see, there's a ground pound attack with this character. Like that, you can explode stuff. Let's check out her combos. As you can see, like that with the trident. And for some reason, in the we'll talk about that if it happens. See, and you can see pretty cool attacks. I think I have a water ball, so maybe I'm not sure. Maybe. No, I did not. We gave her protective mode as well. I think we gave protective mode to almost every character, every Dark Knight. I mean, and yeah, we can throw a batarang, which again is really cool. Thought that was a good idea. It was something I pretty much realized later on when making this custom, so this custom get it earlier when we still have it. And we also have, let me show you guys, Red Death. Red Death is obviously Speedster, the fusion of Batman and the Flash. Batman straps the Flash into this Batmobile and disarmed. And, runs through the Speed Force. As you see, that is a very, very cool combo. He just basically does like a tornado, and then it dies. Then he does like a really cool move mid-air, and more slices and dices. Alright, let's do a little bit more. Let's look at his, here's a nice ground pound as well. Made that red, or like a maroon shade, you could say. Trying to find a car here. As you can see, obviously, he is a speedster, so he has super speed. He also has a super jump, mainly because I forgot to remove the previous character. But we'll just act like it was a part of the job. So we kept that. It was accidental or whatever. The character has some nice hit impact there, so you saw like the red punch effect and stuff. This is probably, honestly, when I look back at this character, the beginning I was kind of mixed on it, but now I feel like it might be top 3 for me. I think top 3 for me is probably the Batman Who Laughs, Dawnbreaker, and maybe and this character, obviously. So yeah, and I think now we have, what do we have? We have the murder, we have Murder Machine. So it looks like Batman is Murder Machine. This actually reminds me of the spacesuit from Lego Batman 3, but it's just because of the look, kind of. But no, it's basically Cyborg and Batman combined. I think this custom turned out pretty cool as well. Fly. They give us some really cool power-ups, if I can show them without dying. Anyways. So I gave him a heat beam. I did the chest just because the eyes, when I tried choosing the eyes, it was from the nose of the actual Batman cowl, which took very odd. As you see, he has some very cool powers. Give him a hyper jump as well. He has a very, very cool slice and dice combo attack. So he has the heat beam, he has an electric beam, which is really cool. And just so you guys know, this is a very, very cool detail in this game. God, not me dying, that's not the detail, but if you electrocute it like someone, it actually shows up like that. See, you actually see them electrocuted. Whereas he is a little different. Look, through how they have unique animations, that's really nice. Really cool for the detail and stuff. And it makes it stand out more. So yeah, you see it's the Batman being Murder Machine. And now we have, what do we have? We only have one left here. But just a quick check, we did Red Death, we did Murder Machine. Alright, so we only have one more left, and that last one is none other than Batman the Merciless. So Batman the Merciless is kind of like a knight, with a Batman was a knight, so Batman was with the Wonder Woman. This custom, I mean, it looks pretty accurate, but it's just kind of plain, really. That's kind of what, in my opinion, draws back on the character, but it's kind of what ruins the character for me personally. But he's really just like a strong brute character in blue armor with like this giant sword and everything. And yeah, he's obviously, as you can see, very, very powerful. He has his at the ground slam attack. If I can just aim at a car properly, that'd be really cool. Let's jump around, try to get a nice attack in here. Come on. There we go. So as you guys can see, he has that, and I think he also has Well, we also get did we give him evil? I'm trying to use the power of it. Wait, never. What is this? Yeah, we gave him like a hit man. I don't remember if we did or this is part of this character. I think we probably did, but I don't know, maybe it was part of this character. I'm not even sure, but still, it goes regardless, I don't know. I mean, I think this character turned out pretty nicely, but if I were to rank them, he'd probably not be in the number 1 spot, so the top 3. So, let's do an official ranking now, and yeah. So starting at number 7, we have Batwoman the Drowned, who in my opinion, it's a decent custom still, but I'm just not a big fan of how the design turned out as compared to like the design in the comics, so it's not as good. But nonetheless, it's still a pretty nice custom, but in my opinion, we've made some better ones, so that's why it's cooler on this list. Plus, I think some of the other characters are just cooler overall as well. I think they have better abilities as well. And this character just with the torso pieces what ruins it for me, and I feel like that just had a big impact on the character. And yeah. So for number 6, we have Batman the Merciless. Okay, don't get me wrong. This you could say that this might be lower than the other one, but in my opinion, this was still a pretty cool custom. For me, the real reason it's lower is just because it's just kind of plain and couldn't have much detail, unfortunately, and stuff. But otherwise, it's a pretty cool custom still. But I think we made some better ones. At number 5, we have Batman the Murder Machine. In my opinion, this was a good custom, but I really liked it. I liked the effects we did. I thought it was a really good custom. So probably like why it was higher. But for me, I just feel like if we could just make the torso a little more detailed, a little bit better, or maybe just like the overall design, just kind of plain, which, just for me, just doesn't make it stand out as much as some of the others. But it's still a really cool custom. I really do like it. It's a hard choice for me to put it down here, honestly. It wasn't easy. But, rankings aren't exactly easy to make. And, yeah. Coming in at number 4, I chose the Batman the Devastator design for custom. This is debatable, you can swap 5 and 4. I feel like they're really close, but the one reason I feel like this goes higher is just because, for me personally, this custom turned out a lot better than I could have thought of. Thought it would be harder, but I feel like we did a pretty good job. The only thing that persists low in my opinion is just the face, kind of like that fur effect, because we used the man bat face, so kind of like that furry effect at the bottom, which kind of ruins it, you could say. But otherwise, I feel like it's a really, really good custom, and 4 and 5 are interchangeable with this. And now, with the 4th one out of the way, let's head out into the top 3. Coming in at number 3, we have Batman the Red Death. This was a really hard choice for me. I like all 3 of you. It's really, really hard to choose and rank them. I think all of them are really cool, but I feel like, Batman the Red Death, there's just a few things we kind of missed out on this custom. Mainly, we couldn't change the color on some of the details on the hands and arms. And if we could just, cover the face, that would really, really improve it. Otherwise, I think it's a really, really solid custom. It's a really solid take, in my opinion. And yeah, it's a really cool custom, but it's just slightly less good as compared to the top 2. And that's my top 3 for all these customs. Coming in at number 2, I chose Batman, or the Batman Who Laughs. This was really close with the Batman the Dawnbreaker, which is obviously going to be the next one. But yeah, it was also a really cool custom, don't get me wrong, but there were just a few things I could do. I wish it would have added, the eyes, he has those, the metal visor and whatnot, the metal spikes basically. If you would add those, you would really nail the custom. Otherwise, it was just really, really custom. You could add really cool abilities, but it just lacks, I don't know, it's just, I feel like it's not as good as the first one. So now we're going to be heading on to the top 1. And as you would have guessed it, our top 1 pick, or my top 1 pick, out of all this custom is Batman the Dawnbreaker. I feel like this is probably the best one just because of how accurate and how close we're able to get to the comic design. You gave it some really cool abilities. You know, he has flight and stuff, and I really like the overall design. I think the aesthetic is really cool. If you could just make the character a little bit skinnier, just to show how, you know, this version is skinnier and just add to his character, that would really improve it. But otherwise, it's pretty amazing in my opinion. This is my number one. Let me know what you guys think of my ranking. Do you think it's a bad ranking? Do you think they're good rankings? Let me know how you guys would rank these in the comments below. Would you put Batman Who Loves higher? Would you put maybe Batman the Devastator higher? Or whatever you would do. Give me your top 7 ranking in the comments below. And we'll be making some more customs very soon. If not the next day, the very next day. Stay tuned for that. If you're interested, make sure to subscribe and notification bell so you can know when videos come out. Like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Kraken out.